reading my story, Chasing Rainbows. Chapter 2, Nostalgic Moments. As she sat down from the omnibus, she noticed a large poster advertising the West Country. After purchasing a train ticket at Paddington Station, Kathleen found herself bound for Plymouth. After her arrival at North Road Station, she had felt confused as she confronted the hustle and bustle of the busy street. Kathleen was surrounded by a steady flow of horse-drawn carriages and the noise of street merchants selling newspapers and various merchandise. Jostled along by the crowd of pedestrians, she made her way past Hayden's Bayswater Temperance Hotel, only to discover a cosy cafe tucked away in a side street. After eating a delicious meal of steak pie and mashed potato, she felt a whole lot better. "That was good," she murmured, and she took a sip of milk from her glass. After lunch, they wandered about the Great Western Docks, and Gerald told Kathleen of his desire to go to sea. He described how he hoped to find employment aboard a merchant steamship, and his dream of travelling to America one day. For it was indeed his heart's desire, and eyes shining with enthusiasm, he told her he hoped to make it a reality. Watching him closely, the girl felt a strange affinity. "Rather you than me," she had giggled, tucking her arm within his. Suddenly she shivered as she recalled travelling across the sea from Ireland as a small girl. It had not been a pleasant experience. Kathleen was uncertain she would ever want to board another ship as long as she lived. Yet as she talked with Gerald, she could tell that his heart was set on sailing aboard a merchant ship bound for overseas. The pair wandered back towards the harbour side at the Barbican, and he spotted Island House with its V upside-down shaped roof. The advertising to the right read Luscombe, Bellamy and Co. Ships Brokers. Directly below this he saw the offices of French Transatlantic Mail Steamship Company. His curiosity aroused, he decided to ask if there was any chance of employment. Kathleen settled herself on a nearby bench. A short time later he returned, grinning ear to ear, exclaiming he was in luck. A job as a kitchen assistant on a steamship had been advertised, and he duly signed on. The ship was bound for France, its destination not quite what he had planned, yet it would be a chance for him to experience life at sea. The captain was not due to sail for a couple of days, so it gave Gerald time to return home and tell his parents. He was eager, optimistic he would achieve his future goal. This could be just the chance he had hoped for. It seemed everything was falling into place for him. He asked Kathleen if she would care to accompany him to his parents' small farm, but she declined gracefully. Aware of the disappointment in his eyes, she hastened to confide that she had very little money and needed to find suitable employment as soon as possible. She thought her best chance might be to try her luck at one of the grand houses. Maybe they needed a housemaid or someone to prepare meals. If she found work at one of the houses or farms thereabouts, she would also have somewhere to live. Indeed, he had to conclude that she was right in thinking this way, despite his dismay at having to part so soon. Although he knew he should soon be homeward bound, he was reluctant to leave her. They had known each other but a short time, yet he felt drawn towards her as a moth to a flame. He held her hand, remarking upon her pretty sapphire ring. The pair wandered towards the open countryside, and despite her reluctance to accompany him to his parents' home, she felt her heart warming towards him. It was as if Kathleen sensed how he felt, and when he asked her to sit down in the meadows with him, she did not resist. At 17, he had never made love to a woman before, and found himself blushing slightly as she pressed his hand to her cheek. She sighed softly as his mouth caressed her eager lips, and his hand brushed against the soft curves of her breast. Kathleen had never permitted a lad to go this far before, yet as their passion mounted, she tingled with desire as he cradled her in his arms, felt herself drifting into oblivion as his fingers caressed her silky hair. She trembled with emotion as he gently caressed, awakening desires deep within. When she felt she could bear it no longer, he took her unto him. She cried out as bodies and spirits joined in an explosion of joy and ecstasy. Passion spent, they lay for a time, arms wrapped around one another. Then, as their desire peaked again, they were soon lost in the rapture of their union. When at last they started to walk back to the town centre, there was a huge clap of thunder, a flash of lightning which lit up the surrounding countryside. He caught her hand and they ran across the field. They ran until they were breathless and could run no more. He pulled her roughly towards him, kissing her softly yielding moist mouth. As they drew apart, the heavens opened and it began to rain. Gerald hastily removed his jacket and wrapped it around her as they sought shelter in a shop doorway not far from the cafe. He was concerned, for Kathleen was a stranger to this part of the world and needed to find somewhere to stay for the night. Tomorrow she could seek employment and find a decent place to live. As they sheltered in the doorway, Gerald embraced her. Tilting her face towards him, his mouth caressed her lips. He smoothed away moist tendrils of hair from her forehead. He felt an overwhelming desire to protect her. "I think the rain's easing up a little. Maybe we should take this opportunity to find somewhere for you to stay," he suggested as he glanced at the brightening sky. Kathleen shook her head. "You should hurry or you will miss your train," she pointed out. He took her arm and, despite her reluctance, he escorted her across the busy main road towards Hayden's Bayswater Temperance Hotel. Many folk were hurrying home from work in the direction of North Road Station. "Let's see if they have a room available for the night," he suggested. Kathleen stared at him in dismay. "I cannot be asked to stay in here, Gerald. I only have a little spare money, and 'tis unfair." He gently put his finger against her mouth. "Hush now. I think I can see my way clear to paying for a room just for tonight," he assured her. She started to protest, but he gently pushed her in through the door. In no time at all, Kathleen found herself settled into a small room at the back of the hotel. Gerald had taken his leave of her, promising to meet down by the railway station the following afternoon. He kissed her passionately, and she watched him go, with tears trembling upon her lashes.